second half as they've knocked off the Texans 34-10, and the number 1 seed will move on. And now the celebration at midfield, both teams coming over to converge. C.J. Stroud finds Lamar Jackson. John Harbaugh finds DeMeco Ryans. It was a heck of a year for the Texans, and the year is getting even better for the Baltimore Ravens.
And I think the way in which they won this game, Tom, makes it even more impressive. You overcome the adversity of 10-10 at halftime. You allow a punt return for a touchdown. And at halftime, things were looking dicey. They just put this thing into overdrive and dominated the second half.
Well, the number 1 seed survives. The AFC continues with this whole chalk theory. And now, as we mentioned, the Ravens will await the winner of the Chiefs and the Bills. That game will take place tomorrow. It'll be the final game of the day, and it will be unbelievable in Buffalo. The teams continue to chat at midfield. There's a throng of cameras and reporters that are surrounding the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. It's funny, what caught my eye is Dalvin Cook running off the field all smiles because it was a lost year for him. And here he is as a member of the Ravens moving on to the AFC Championship game.
Hey, this worked out well. He got paid more than any other running back this offseason. Barely got the ball for the Jets, and then he gets released, gets to come here to maybe the best team in football. He's going to play in a conference championship game for the first time, maybe second time in his career, and have a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
The Ravens ran for 229 yards today. Pretty incredible to get over 200 yards. They held the Texans offensively to just 213 yards, 68 in the second half, and 145 in the first half. It turned out to be a dominating win for Baltimore, 34-10 over the Texans. Let's check in with Ryan Lee.
Whoa, what a hell of a catch.
Thanks, Tom. I'm here with Isaiah Likely, tight end for the Baltimore Ravens. Talk about the impact last year and your rookie year had to when Mark Andrews got hurt this year, and how much you've been able to influence with Lamar Jackson.
Really just, keeping the chemistry where it is. I mean, building every day, taking a day, one day at a time, being where my feet are, and just trying to be right where the quarterback needs me every play.
Well, speaking of being right where he needed to be, on that touchdown pass, Derek Stingley Jr. kind of went in front of you. Was that something you guys saw that you knew he was going to try to put it on your back shoulder?
Yeah, I mean, the play design, he played it well. I mean, I was trying to run the corner route, and then, I seen Lamar still holding the ball, so I said, man, just throw it to me. And he threw it back shoulder, he threw a perfect back shoulder ball. I just went and made my quarterback right.
Playing for this Ravens team, your second year in the league, you guys get a chance now to play in the first AFC Championship ever in Baltimore's history. How important is it to be able to do that at home, regardless of who your opponent is?
It's great. I mean, you have a opponent come here into the bank and have to deal with the crowd noise. I mean, I think we had like 6 false starts due to the bank. So, I mean, you had an opponent come here and play at the bank. Then you got to play against our defense, and you got to play against our electrifying offense. I mean, it's hard to play against.
What's it mean to maybe have Mark Andrews back with you next week and what you two can do together with some damage?
It'd be great to have Big Bro back. I mean, I've been waiting. I've been asking him, how you been feeling. He told me he feels great. I tell him, we're going to get this one, and then you let me know how next week feel. And if you come back next week, I mean, y'all let me know how Sunday goes.
Well, there you have it. Isaiah Likely, Baltimore Ravens tight end, on their win, heading them to the AFC Championship. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Tom, back to you.
All right, Rye. So in the regular season, there were 12 touchdowns for tight ends for the Baltimore Ravens, and they get one today. Once again, the final score. It's the Ravens 34, the Texans 10. Back with more in a moment. You're listening to the NFL Playoffs on Westwood One.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard. Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brux Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brux Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and enter the code BRUX91. That's BRUX91.
Stop your grinding with Brux Night Guard.
Chris Brockman here from the world-famous Rich Eisen Show, and the playoffs are now. The stakes are higher than they've ever been, and there's no better way to turn the playoff football's big game energy into 100 times your money than Prize Picks. Just select 2 or more players. Pick more or less their projection for a wide variety of stats and place your entry. Boom! It's that easy. You could turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Get in the lab and cook up your winning entry. Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks is matching your first deposit of up to $100 when you download the Prize Picks app and use the code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Welcome back. All right, Jimmy, our Army veteran for $400. Are you ready to answer the next question?
Actually, I'm good.
Huh?
Well, I already earn and save $473 a year on average with Navy Federal Credit Union. So, yeah.
All members of the armed forces, all veterans, and their families can earn and save more every year with a Navy Federal membership. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA. Dollar value based on the 2022 Navy Federal Member Give Back Study.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Ross, perk up your ears. You can log on to WestwoodOneSports.com every weekday during the NFL season for a brand new episode of the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Listen at your convenience at WestwoodOneSports.com/Ross Tucker. 34-10, the final score. The Ravens have beat up on the Texans. They scored 24 unanswered points in this second half. They rushed for over 200 yards. Lamar Jackson rushed for 100 yards. He had 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns. I think any question about, playoff malaise in his part, I think that's kind of over.
No, that's over. The whole thing about he doesn't play well in the playoffs, he was fantastic today, but now it's the next step. Right now it'll be, is he good enough to beat Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes in a conference championship game and get this Ravens team to the Super Bowl? If he plays like he did today, he certainly has a great chance to do that. I mean, he's only had 5 playoff games, Tom. 3 of them he's rushed for 100 yards. So we talk about the passing game all the time, and people say, oh, you don't want to have a running quarterback. Well, you do if it's Lamar Jackson, because that is a huge advantage. Think about the 4th down bootleg where they got converted for the first down, the 2 rushing touchdowns. It is such a weapon that I wondered and worried they would lose with Todd Monken coming here, and all the talk of more passing, less running, spread offense. I thought they would lose what made the Ravens so good the last few years. They didn't. They incorporated some new things, but they kept those core concepts of Lamar running when they need it.
And think about his running ability, set up the touchdown pass to Isaiah Likely as well, because he's rolling out on a bootleg. Everybody's thinking he's going to run, which then gives the big man a chance to go over the top of a smaller coverage guy.
It's such a great point. And you think about also when he drops back to pass, Tom, multiple times in that first half, he had 20-something yard runs off of scrambles because he dropped back to pass. Nobody was there. He took it and ran. It is just such a huge edge. It's why, frankly, I don't talk to a college coach that doesn't want a quarterback that can run. I mean, and even in the NFL, they all recognize the need to have quarterbacks that can run. And I'll say this, he's not a runner, but Stroud's mobility is better than I thought. I don't know if he was sacked the whole night. He found a way to buy time, get rid of the ball. That in and of itself, I know they didn't score an offensive touchdown, but the fact that Stroud was not sacked once the whole game is really impressive for that youngster.
All right, so fifth AFC Championship game in the franchise history of the Baltimore Ravens, their first since 2012, and Lamar became the fifth player in NFL postseason history to have 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. The last to do it was Colin Kaepernick.
Unbelievable. It is going to be an incredible atmosphere next weekend with 50-some years in between conference championship games. And kudos to the Texans. Their fans have a lot to be excited about moving forward.
All right, the final score, it's the Ravens 34 and the Texans 10. The Ravens move on to the AFC Championship next Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Let's rejoin Scott Graham at our Westwood One studios.
All right, thank you very much, guys. It was a game that turned out one way but began an entirely different way as we take a look back on what happened in this one between the Texans and the Ravens. The Houston Texans, the Cinderella team coming in, the Ravens with something to prove as they came into this ball game as the number 1 seed, needing 2 wins to get to the Super Bowl. They scored first on their opening drive of the game on a Justin Tucker 53-yard field goal to take a 3-0 lead, but late in the first quarter, after they hadn't moved the ball much, the Texans did get the ball into Ravens territory, and Kaimi Fairbairn hit on a 50-yard field goal to tie the game at 3. Early in the second, at the end of a 76-yard drive, Lamar Jackson was marvelous on this drive, running for 38 yards, completing 4 passes. Found Nelson Aguilar for a 3-yard touchdown at the 9:14 mark of the second, and Baltimore had the first touchdown